Whoa. Try again. I don't think they can hear you. Oh dear. Try it now.
Hello? Hello, 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 hello.
Oh, good grief.
Yes, coming through.
Who's coming through?
Yes, it's coming through. It's on the show. Yes, they can hear me. They can hear just fine now.
What the
well.
freak is going on?
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Whoever's watching, wherever you're watching, I hope you are well. And good evening to you, John.
Good evening, Ben. I was in such a good mood until just before the show when suddenly all the audio stopped working.
I know you were, and I am in a state of mourning, John. I'm in a state of mourning.
What are you mourning for? What
about a foot and a half of hair.
You pining for the fjords?
Yeah, well, I'm pining for about a foot and a half of hair that I've lost.
Why? Why? It'll grow back.
Yeah, I know, but
till it stops growing back.
Cold. My head feels cold, John. It feels cold.
Well, is that not a good thing?
Yeah, I'm mourning.
Oh my God, you're such a... That's pathetic. You're exactly the same as my wife. Something goes wrong and you turn to the... Oh, well done, you've done it again. He's pulled the fucking cable out. That's 3 times he's done it since we started. He'll be asking for a new laptop soon, you know that. He's only had this one less than a year.
I can't move a muscle.
You did it again, yeah. You pulled the cable out or whatever.
It's not the computer.
Oh, what is it?
It's the fucking cabling. There's something up with the cabling.
Oh, that's what I said.
I'm going to have to check on it.
Where do the cables go? Into the computer?
Yes, well, yeah. It might be that the socket is just not grabbing as well as it did before. I don't bloody know.
Which socket?
The one inside inside the computer, John.
Oh, the laptop, the USB socket, the ones you broke in the last computer. And then you went and bought the same computer.
It's not the same computer.
Okay. You went and bought an almost identical computer made by the same manufacturer with exactly the same layout.
And an extra screen.
But almost exactly the same computer. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, swap them with Chaz. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do the next time, Shalini. You're right.
Don't do it.
Don't you bloody do it. Don't you bloody do it. Don't you do it.
Don't you bloody well do it, boy.
Don't you do it.
I tell you, I'll come up there to Scotland and I'll insert my foot firmly.
You're going to lose a connection again, aren't you? If you start moving around. A little bit of this. Right, anyway, let's get on with the show before it falls apart. So, good evening, one and all, denizens of the world, creepy people on the interwebs, citizens of Veridora, you beautiful people. Welcome to this.
Beautiful people.
Welcome to this, Chasing Dissent Live, with me, John, and with Ben. It's episode 252, the Alien Edition.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
There we go. This is really disconcerting. I really don't like this at all.
What don't you like about it?
I don't like the fact that I can't hear the music.
Yeah, I had to go through that myself when I was doing it sometimes. OBS is a pile of shite. It's a pile of shiny shite.
I think you're correct.
It's free. It's free, and there's someone with £3 currently sitting in his bank account You know, I like free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do. I like free.
Indeed.
So, Adam says, evening all, who's the new guy on the right?
You should see him when he lets his hair down at the front. He's actually got bangs. He looks like a boy band member from the 80s. He really does. In fact, those guys in the Ruthless video, you look at them. Who was that? It was a boy band.
Was it the Backstreet Boys?
It might have been. It might have been something. Well, I don't know. I don't know who it was. But anyway, it might have been. Anyway, it took days off you, Ben. Yeah. Oh, there he goes again. There he goes again. What should we do? Well, Chaz, let's crack on with the show, shall we? So...
No. I literally cannot move.
Sorry, I have to bring Chaz back. Chaz was getting in there.
I could see Chaz was getting in there. Yeah, I could see.
Right. So, Biden's impeachment investigation.
Yeah. So Kevin McCarthy, current Speaker of the House,
has he got his office back?
Well, I think the insurrectionists have been removed, John.
I'll guarantee that you don't hear anything more about that, and these people got off with that.
Of course not.
Scot-free.
Of course not. You know, the anti-HIV. I mean, isn't being anti-HIV kind of the default anyway? I think we're all pretty anti-HIV.
Yeah.
But the anti-HIV protesters.
It's not a very.
Singing,
it's not an inspired name, is it?
Well, like I just. Yeah, just the anti-HIV protesters sitting in Kevin McCarthy's office, I believe, have been removed. Either that or they've just been left there without food and water.
Yeah, no, they've probably been removed. I'd imagine they've been removed and they'll get chastised and let go. That's what I think.
Yeah, of course they will, because they're Democrats.
Yeah. So
ultimately, they're not insurrectionists because they're Democrats, even though if we are to use the January 6th standard, yes, they are. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, they are, and they should get 22 years in prison like all of these other bloody people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should.
I'm just saying.
But anyway,
right?
So what do we think is going to happen with Biden then? Because, I mean, you read me a list of the evidence against Trump, and then, which took 2 sentences, and then or 2 lines, and then you read me a list of the evidence against Biden, and it was like 5 minutes later when I woke up, and you were still going.
Yeah. Well, you know, at the end of the day, politicians, and I'm going to say this as broadly as possible, politicians are largely corrupt. No. They use their power and their influence to gain personal, wealth and things like that.
Yeah.
Joe Biden appears to be absolutely no different to any other politician.
Well, I think he's better at gaining wealth.
Well, yeah, perhaps, because, the big guy gets 10% or whatever. The big guy's done a pretty good job.
And Burisma slipped him, $5 million in a straightforward bribe.
Straightforward bribe, baby. Allegedly.
And Hunter, another 5.
Oh, yeah, but, Hunter needs to...
Hunter's got a habit.
Fund his extracurriculars somehow, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a habit for powder and women, by the looks of things. And those things don't come cheap. As someone, like I said, with £3 in my bank account, I could not indulge these habits. So,
no, they couldn't. So we didn't see you last night, Ben. We didn't see you last night. We missed you.
No. I know, and I apologise, but my poor darling wife took ill, shall we say, and went to bed and left me with the monsters that are our children.
Do you mean she just got fed up watching the kids and went to bed?
That's a possibility. It's a strong possibility.
I've had enough. You watch these little brats. They're yours after all. And you should say, could you prove that?
However, I was sitting with her till about 3 a.m. making sure she had medicines and stuff like that. She weren't very well.
Okay.
Yeah, I did watch a lot of, well, a fair amount of last night's show, and I applaud you and Adam for holding down the fort, for taking up the mantle, shall we say?
I should be better. I should be better prepared though, shouldn't I?
Well, how do you mean?
Well, sometimes I should pre-download the pictures and things that I want to show people rather than try and find them on YouTube.
Do you remember when we used to do slides? Every
Yeah,
show?
yeah. It used to take me bloody ages to get the whole show together.
Yeah. And you know, like Adam says, you do a great job, and you do a great job on the fly anyway.
Thank you,
So,
Adam.
Why not? Why
No,
not?
it was the Antarctica show
Yes,
last
Frankie,
night. Yeah.
Yes. And I would like to address one militant mushroom in the chat who did ask me a question on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it now. Yes, coffee brand coffee is available for shipping to the UK. You can get it shipped to the UK directly from their website. And for those of you who don't know, we are now Coffee Shills. So you can go to coffeebrandcoffee.com and use the code DissentBrew to get some coffee. And
buy coffee.
Get some money off that coffee. And we get kickbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, we might as well say it as it is, right?
Well, yeah, we get
say,
how much do we get? Do we know? No.
Fuck knows. No idea. I haven't actually. Right. So they've approved all my affiliate stuff.
Right. Okay.
Right. So use the discount code DissentBrew. All one word.
Brew.
Yeah.
Two S's.
That's pretty good.
Two S's. Oh, I went to the well, we would call it the Coop. Okay. You would probably call it the tip, or if you're posh, you may call it the local authority recycling centre, where they put everything in one skip and then bury it all in landfill.
Yeah, we call it the dump or the tip. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to the Coop yesterday and made a new friend and gave him the show. So if Ray's out there watching, then Rab, not Ray, Rab. So if Rab's out there watching. Rab's quite into everything. Rab even told me that Nicola Sturgeon is not a real woman. At that point, I went, "Are you sure, Rab?"
I just don't think she's at least all the way straight. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's something that if it is true, she should not be ashamed of.
Indeed. I'd just like to say that your microphone is in glorious focus. It's just a pity you aren't. But don't freaking move.
I'm on the focus ring.
That's
I think it's trying to fixate on the microphone.
That'll do. I think that's better.
It's trying to fixate on the microphone.
Yeah, probably because it's closer. Yeah, I mean, it's a 6. What is that? A D600? They're not the best for focusing on auto.
It's a 600D.
Yeah.
And it's got no. I'm not using any kind of autofocus. I just use the manual.
Oh, it shouldn't. Once you've changed it, it shouldn't move. But anyway, right. So
focus.
Right. Let's get on with the. Adam, you can't say that.
You definitely can't say that, Adam.
You can't say that. So Trudeau was down at the G20 in India. Monsieur Trudeau. Did you see that video with his mum today on Twitter? No.
No.
Oh, I should have clipped that actually. Well, it was quite interesting because his mum appears to be a complete and utter Fruit Loop. So when she had her children, right, she only saw them 5 days out of every 14 because she liked to continue her hedonistic lifestyle. Fair dues.
Yeah.
I think part of that hedonistic lifestyle may have been a dangerous liaison with one Fidel Castro. Just mere speculation on my behalf, but she was a good-looking girl, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
But an absolute Fruit Loop, and I think Mr. Trudeau's picked up some of her fruitiness. But then there you go. I
can only imagine you are correct. I mean, Mr. Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, if you are out there in my personal opinion, you are a psychopath. You are an absolute,
Yes.
not just a Fruit Loop, you are a psychopath.
Yeah, he's
And
a
what you have
psychopath.
done to your country, and I won't name things, but what you have done to your country and what you have done to its people over the last 3 years especially is entirely unforgivable. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. So anyway, while he was in the at the G20, he got reamed by well, I use that term advisedly. I think he got a dressing down, as they say, by I think it was the deputy PM of India or whatever for some stupid thing that he'd said to do with India and net zero or something like that. So he got put in his place, and then when he went to go home, his plane had broken down. So he had to stay. He had to stay in New Delhi. Did you see him sitting in the golf cart? Did you see the picture from sitting in the golf cart? What
I've stayed away from. I've
a
largely
prissy
stayed away
man!
from Twitter.
What a prissy
And the-
prissy man!
And the reason I've largely stayed away from Twitter is because I don't want to fall back into my own old ways and also fall down the same path that you appear to have fallen quite drastically down, which is sitting there having arguments all day.
Oh no, I've actually turned it down now. I've only been on Twitter for a few hours, like I think an hour before the show and about an hour this morning and an hour this afternoon. I'm cutting down my Twitter time quite dramatically.
I think that's probably a good thing.
I think it
to be
is.
honest.
Yeah, yesterday I was hardly on it at all.
Yeah, I'm not just saying that's a good thing for John. I like to step back from it because I was heavily into Twitter beforehand. Why do you think I've got 10,500 followers? Because I was just constantly tweeting. But it's better for your soul to step back from these things and, you know, look around into the real world a bit. I mean, I was sitting there, you know, having fun with my son and daughter earlier on rather than sitting there tweeting. And I think everybody should at least try and step back a bit and just, you know, cleanse the soul, shall we say.
Cleanse
it
the
is,
soul. Cleanse.
Well, it's digital enslavement. Even if it is Twitter and even if it is supposed to be, you know, freedom and free speech, is it? Fuck.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
You know.
Teresa spends a lot of time on Twitter as well.
I know. But she has been nicely complimenting me.
Yes,
both
she
in
did.
direct message and on...
Yeah.
on that.
And your sexy
So
haircut.
I will give Teresa a pass. Yes, I will.
No,
Look,
you
the
post
way-
pics
the
of
way
that
to-
are on Facebook. You don't put them on Twitter.
Look, the way to my heart, ladies and gentlemen, stroke my ego.
Yeah.
Stroke it. Just stroke the ego.
Right. Where was I? So, right. I know we don't talk about football, and that's probably because none of us give a toss about it.
Not one toss. Not one toss.
But I think we have to talk about the Scotland-England game, the friendly which occurred last night.
Right.
I use
Where
the
did
term.
that occur?
Pardon? Last night?
Where did that occur?
Hampden, Glasgow.
So, okay.
So I have to use the word friendly in a kind of loose term when it comes to Scotland and football, because Scotland doesn't play football friendly in anything. Now, there were a couple of incidents at the match. One of them was that Hamza Yusuf was seen smirking when the mainly SNP probably voting crowd started booing during the national anthem. Right? But then obviously took to their feet and sang uproariously to Flower of Scotland. So I think that's quite rude,
Yeah.
booing another team's national anthem. But hey, Scotland did lose by 3-1, I believe. All the goals were scored by England. Yeah, all the goals were scored by England.
But England managed to score an own goal, is what you're trying to tell me here.
Yes. What, is there a funny noise in here?
No.
Okay. Right, so yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I'm not happy.
What do you mean not happy?
I
Come
don't
on,
know.
talk
I'm
to me,
just
John.
not. I feel that.
Tell me your troubles.
I
me your
feel that
worries.
there's something wrong with the audio. Is the audio okay, people?
I feel it in
It's
my
probably because I can't
veins.
hear anything. You know, I've got headphones and there's no point because I can't hear
I
anything.
feel it in
Oh,
my
I can hear you.
soul.
The audio is great, says Adam. Okay, well, we'll just leave it. We'll leave it.
all
Go.
around me.
Right, okay, stop singing before we get a
All the
copyright strike.
feeling
You're that good
of-
that we'll get a copyright strike. So yeah, so so Hamza's been picked up for that, for smirking while the booing was occurring, and people were saying things like, "It is only a friendly; it means nothing." You can't say that to, and much as I hate to admit it, when it comes to playing football against England, you just can't say that to a Scotsman, because there is nothing worse than playing England, because we nearly always get beat these days.
I mean, these days.
Well, we used to beat England quite regularly.
Okay.
I was there. I was at that game in Wembley when we took not only the goalposts, we took most of the pitch after we beat England. That was quite good. I can't condone
Militant
it, but
Mushroom says, I know where the goalposts are.
there are bits, there are little bits all over the place.
Shit. Scared about. People have got a little piece as a souvenir, I imagine. Little piece.
Little piece of goalpost. So yeah.
Goalpost.
Yeah, so so you can't say it's a friendly. It's never a friendly when you're playing England. It's deadly serious. It's down to that. Yeah. It's like in people's minds, they build it back up to, this is like the Battle of Culloden. You're back to charging across a field at each other with big swords.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Let's move on from football, right? Because England and Scotland. Actually, let's stick with football for a minute.
Okay.
Because I want to read you some rules.
Some rules.
Some rules for Brighton and Hove supporters who want to go and see their club over in Marseille, France. I sent this to you. I'm just going to read you this set of rules. Important information for arriving in Marseille. Do not visit the Old Port, Vieux Port area of Marseille during their stay. Any Brighton supporters identified within this area could be fined by the authorities. When travelling around the city, do not wear anything that will identify them as Brighton and Hove Albion supporters or congregate in large groups. Sussex police will be present in the city to work with supporters and local authorities. Street crime, including pickpocketing, can take place in Marseille. Be vigilant, take sensible precautions, and have valid travel insurance. Carry photo ID, passport at all times in the city. La Joulette area of Marseille has bars and restaurants where supporters should base themselves on the day of the match. Additional food and drink facilities and a DJ will be provided in Place de la Joulette.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Well, what do you expect?
What do you mean? What do I expect tourists to be able to just go and tourist?
No, not when they're English football supporters. No, you have to. Have you never paid attention to what English football supporters do when they go abroad?
Well, some English football supporters.
Sorry, most English football supporters turn into complete and utter arseholes.
Yeah, but that may be true, but this is Brighton.
Yeah, and why won't they turn into complete and utter arseholes?
I'm not going to say on this show.
Hey, yeah. Doesn't matter. They still will. So where's that place they're banned from going? Why aren't they allowed to go to the Old Port?
I have no idea. Just banned. You will be fined.
I don't understand that. If you're found to be English, you have to prove that you're not a Brighton and Hove Albion supporter if you want to go there.
Well, it would appear so. And what the hell are Sussex police doing? Policing?
Oh, they do that all the time. They always send cops over to as part of the contingent, so as they can pick them out and identify them, and then further prosecute them once you get back to England, once you've been an arsehole abroad.
Okay, well, speaking of arseholes abroad,
Uh-huh.
let's keep with France and let's move to Disneyland Paris,
Okay.
who are reopening their 5-star Disneyland hotel in January this coming January 2024. It's been closed for about 2.5 years under full renovation. Now, I want to read you some prices here. For 2 adults, 1 night and 2 days in the theme park. And these are for the top tier suites. A signature suite, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Tangled, Frozen, or Beauty and the Beast. €3,112. A Castle Club suite, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast.
How many nights?
1 night. This is 1 night.
1 night.
€4,702.36. A princely suite, €7,162.26. And finally, the royal suite themed to Frozen, which, by the way, looks like a sanitized Apple store. I've seen photos. €10,342.26.
But I hear you get to sleep with both Anna and Elsa at the same time.
I mean, for that price, come on now.
Jesus Christ.
€10,000
Oh
for
my
2
God.
adults and 1 night.
Woo! Yeah, I
Militant
would definitely be looking for Elsa and Anna.
Yeah. This is worse than the fucking Galactic Star Cruiser. That makes $6,000 for a 2-night fully themed experience.
Wouldn't it be fucking brilliant though if you had enough money that you could just go, yeah, I'm going to do that. I mean, imagine if you could go and do it and then report on it and say, wasn't worth it.
Oh yeah, and at the end of each one of them is 26 cents. Don't know why. They just added 26 cents on the end of each one.
26
So
cents.
Yeah, so €3,112.26.
Oh, that'll be the
4,700.
that'll be the tourist tax.
Yeah, but the tourist tax is about €2 a head.
Yeah, I know. I'm being
Yeah.
facetious. Give me a break,
Yeah.
Mr. fucking literal.
Luke says 26 pence too much. I'm not paying that.
Cents.
Yeah, cents. But
Yeah, but
oh,
anyway.
come on.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was writing an article about Get Woke Go Broke, and then me and John had a little discussion this morning because I had seen some things and some rumors that were very Disney centered, focusing on this, and then I went down a rabbit hole. And there will be a series coming. I just don't know which channel it's going to come on, called Deconstructing Disney. And I'm writing it at the moment, and I've been writing it. I've been outlining it today.
Oh, so you're writing a script almost.
Not a script, more like an outline.
Cool.
And yeah, so I don't know which channel it's going to go on yet, but it's not going to be very favourable to the Walt Disney Company. I will say that. I mean, that place is a hellhole. Did you know it only has a board of directors in name only? They don't actually do board of directors things. So the CEO has pretty much ultimate control, which is quite scary.
Is that not most corporations are run like that, to be fair?
But it's quite scary, and it should be very concerning if you're a Disney shareholder. Well, if you're a Disney shareholder, you've currently lost a lot of money, by the way.
Yeah.
And do you know, I'll give you one more way of trying to claw that back, John.
Go on.
So they're selling a new box set, a new Blu-ray box set that will be available only on Walmart.com. And it's for their 100th anniversary. It contains 100 Blu-ray discs, 100 movies. And if you would like to own this piece of Disney memorabilia, it will cost you the princely sum of $1,500.
Yeah. That's a lot of money for 100 Blu-rays discs. And I mean, and let's face it, does anyone still play digital media off disc?
I mean, I play games. I only ever buy games on disc. I try my best not to get digital versions because I like to have the physical media.
Okay. But yeah, that's mental. So it's Bob Iger on shaky ground then?
Well, I think Bob Iger's on more than shaky ground at the moment. I think and I've been saying this for years, that Bob Chapek, the man that replaced him and then ultimately got scapegoated, was in fact a scapegoat. And all of the problems at Disney are solely at the feet of Bob Iger.
Yeah.
He's got a god complex. The dude has a god complex. He thinks this ESG shit they think they're actually, changing the world. They genuinely believe it. And that's quite concerning, really, because you can see in the product that it's shit.
But are they changing the world? That's the thing.
Yeah, but they think they're changing the world for the better.
No, I know they think they're changing it for the better, and that's certainly questionable. But are they indeed changing the world? And I think there is an argument to say that they are, by their very actions, changing the world. Not for the better.
But I will give credit where credit's due to Mr. Peltz, the CEO of Wendy's and other food outlets, who is quite a large Disney shareholder and tried to effect a hostile takeover earlier in the year, but had his fears assuaged for a bit. He looks like he might be doing it again. Put it that way.
So he's going to try and sell them to Apple, is he?
Well, Nelson Peltz, this is a rumor at the moment, so I can't confirm this, so please take it as a rumor. But it looks like Nelson Peltz and another number of large shareholders are giving Bob Iger 6 months to ready the ship. And if he doesn't, they're going to sell all their shares to Apple. And then Apple will install Nelson Peltz as CEO. And bye-bye Bob. So sort it out.
And what about your pal? What's his name? Daddy Josh or whatever? No?
Oh, Josh Tomorrow.
Yeah. Would he be out as well?
I don't think so, because he's Parks and Resorts and experiences.
Okay. You like him, yeah. Even though you are a straightforward homosexual. No, sorry, sorry. Even though you are a straight non-gay man. If it was anyone, it would be Daddy Josh, would it?
As CEO.
No. If you were going to sleep with a man.
What? How have we even got there?
Because you're always going on about him. You and Ollie are going on about him as if you're like little fanboys.
I've not mentioned Josh Tomorrow ever.
Yes, you have. You used to talk about him all the time when we were doing real reviews, when it was Dismal Disney.
I might go dead here.
Don't. Oh no! Good grief! He's off after a spider now. Right. Okay. After that, we'll leave Benny's embarrassment there and we'll move on. So, can we go to Ukraine?
That fucker dead.
Right. Okay. We've got to go to Ukraine. So, the head of intelligence or something has come out and said, or the Prime Minister or something, not the President, the Prime Minister, has come out and said that the offensive has failed, right? Mm-hmm. And it solely is the West's fault for not giving them enough money and equipment. So it's all down to the West.
Yeah, but I do want to I do want to quickly point you to a Twitter account. I pointed you there earlier, John. Because they will say this is disinformation, and this is the Center for Countering Misinformation at C4CD on Twitter. And this is the official page of the Center for Countering Disinformation, the working body of National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine. Mm-hmm. This is an official Ukrainian, and it's got, the silver tick and everything like that. This is an official Ukrainian Twitter account that basically publishes daily lists of people they call disinformation artists, and to me it just looks like a kill list. Well, I think this could be dangerous.
Yeah, it probably is.
I think it's dangerous. I think it's ridiculous. And whilst we're staying there, they're all about to gloat. And why are they about to gloat? Because they're about to put Gonzalo Lira on some kind of kangaroo court trial to make a massive example of him. And
who's doing this? Ukraine or Russia?
Oh, Ukraine. Ukraine are doing this.
So Gonzalo Lira is an American Peruvian or something like that, is he?
Yeah, so he's got dual citizenship with America, and it could be Peru.
Is he a Peru or Chile or something like that? Yeah.
Chilean. He's Chilean.
Right. Okay.
You're right. He was arrested once again trying to leave Ukraine about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and of course we came up with a theory, or we thought that he was an agent for the SBU.
I don't think he is, because their propagandists. I mean, their spokesperson. You know, that trans
Krello.
woman.
Aye. Yeah, Krello.
Yeah, is being very smug
Sergeant
right now.
Krello.
And they're threatening to essentially hunt down what they call Russian propagandists, I believe, anywhere on Earth. And I am concerned.
And people want to stand with them.
Well, the thing is, what I'm concerned will happen, and this is just me thinking out loud and thinking out the box, but I'm concerned that they may try and charge people who have never set foot in Ukraine, first of all.
Yeah.
With this crime, and then they'll issue fucking Interpol arrest warrants for these people to have them come stand trial in Ukraine, and other countries will honor it because they want to be seen. So what we could be seeing is a bunch of journalists, legitimate journalists, being arrested and, you know, extradited to Ukraine to stand for these kangaroo trials. And this little shit that she, whatever you want to call him, looks so smug.
Yeah.
When making this threat, and it is a threat.
Yeah, it's.
And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not going to sit here and support Russia. You know that. Everybody knows that, because I don't support them.
This isn't about support. Right, so, I mean, let's get this straight, people. Russia and Ukraine are both as bad as each other, right?
Absolutely.
The problem is, in fact, I would actually say that Russia's probably slightly less bad, because Ukraine not only is a cesspit, but it's a cesspit that's been driven further down by the actions of the United States of America.
Okay.
So I would say that, you know, it's been put in the position it is because mainly of the actions of the United States of America, which have turned it into a complete and utter shithole, and have used it deliberately to try and degrade Russia, to try and weaken Russia, as they said, and seem to have had the exact opposite effect. So
I completely agree with you.
The whole thing's a nightmare now, and I mean, what I'm going to say now is my opinion, right? But both these countries are in the habit of assassinating people that they don't like.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think this is just another way that they differ from the West, because you think these people, and I don't mean to denigrate them in any way, other than the fact they have a completely different cultural outlook on life, and they do not think the same way that we do. And when it comes to things like, you know, taking revenge and taking people out of the game, it's a completely different ballgame, and we don't understand it, and we shouldn't be involved in it.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't be involved in their fight. We shouldn't. And, you know, the fear is, boys and girls, my children, your children if you have them, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your nephews, your nieces, will end up dead in a war that was nothing to do with them. And Putin's doing it again, by the way. He's threatening the UK again. He keeps threatening the UK.
Well, why wouldn't he? Because the UK's the biggest shit stirrer. I mean, do you know what we're doing just now? Right, so let's just think about this. There's two countries in conflict, right?
Yeah.
Two countries in conflict with each other, right? Now, regardless of who started it, I really don't care. But these two countries are in conflict and they're having a war, right?
Yeah.
So the United States, the UK, Romania, and some other NATO countries decide that this is a great time, right, to go and have a naval exercise off their coast.
Yep, it's shit stirring. It is shit stirring. Nothing more, nothing less.
I mean, who thought that was a good idea, you know?
Well, I'll tell you who thought that was a good idea. Obviously, our Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Because he has the power to say, no, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that.
Millie thinks it's a great idea. The Joint Chiefs of Staff. That's who thinks it's a great idea, because they're just going to wind up Russia and see if they can provoke a reaction.
Well, and this is the problem, isn't it? Because all the while that, not just us, but, you know, Ukraine's government, Russia's government, the United States government, anyone giving Ukraine weapons, government, you're putting your own citizens at risk. You're putting the everyday man, woman and child at risk, because we could be dragged into something that was nothing to do with us. And believe me when I tell you, even though you wouldn't accept me anyway because I'm a cripple, you call me up to be in your military for a war that's nothing to do with me, and I will tell you where to go.
Yeah.
I will tell you exactly where to go, because I care more about the physical safety of my wife and my children over your pointless war. And I believe everybody should be acting the same. I really do.
Yep, I think you're right. So, meanwhile, right? You can't make this nonsense up. Meanwhile, little Vlad, right? And I use the term little Vlad because that was his name growing up, right?
Yeah.
Because he spoke Russian growing up. He didn't learn Ukrainian until in fact, I don't think he learned Ukrainian until he was elected, because he was he basically ethnically brought up Russian. But anyway, little Vlad has said that although there is corruption in Ukraine and he is fighting it, and he needs more money to fight this corruption, because we did touch on this the other day, any Ukrainian officials who stole money only stole Ukrainian money. So, how do you tell? And secondly, surely when you've given the money to Ukraine, it's then Ukrainian money.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I just want to address Frankie J5 or J75 in the chat, who says, when you go against the populist view, Ben, you will be the problem. I have been against the populist view.
We are the problem. That's why we don't have an audience. We don't make any money. And we're sitting here talking to like 15 people.
Yeah.
That's why. We are the problem. We're the masters of our own disaster.
We need you. We need you to hit that share button, to hit that like button right now, because the more you hit that like button, the more YouTube promote the show, and the more we can get people in during the live stream. So come on, people, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're not subscribed already, then why the hell not? Because you need to be for at least 20 minutes before you can get in the damn chat. But anyway.
And this is actually exactly what I said to Mark Changizi the other day on Twitter. I said, our problem, and we moan about it all the time, well, I moan about it all the time, is that if you take a reasonable approach to things with an evidence-based look at the facts, then nobody likes you, because you're not standing on one side or another and knee-jerking and saying, you know, they should be put in jail, or these people are bad. Because, you know, if you're looking at things dispassionately to a degree, and saying, well, you know, there's a bit of fault on both sides. It's like when Jeremy Vine. It's like when Jeremy Vine decides to stop behind a truck that's reversing. Why would he do that? I know why he did it. For clicks and giggles. But he nearly got run over.
Actually, earlier on.
And his bike did.
So I was pulling out my road earlier on, actually. I was going right, so obviously cutting across traffic and turning right. A lovely van stopped to let me go.
Yeah.
And the guy on the other side had stopped as well to create a clear path for me. So out I pulled from the end of my road, and a fucking moped comes shooting round the van and has to slam his brakes on, and his wheel touched my driver's side door.
Bloody hell.
That's how... Oh, yeah. And I started fucking fuming, John. I was calling him a fucking moron. The van driver started leaning out of his window going, "What the fuck do you think you're doing, you fucking idiot?" Yeah, I nearly got someone crash, but he was going quite fast into my driver's side door.
That was kind of silly.
People on two wheels don't give a shit. They really don't. They
Especially
think
if they're
because
on
I'm on two wheels, I can go round you. I can go through this.
They can't. Well, look at Vile. He's going to need a new bike, isn't he?
Didn't he run a red light during that video as well, I believe?
He might have.
Look at it.
But,
yeah, well, the red light is also for you, Jeremy.
Yeah, it is.
It's also for you.
Yeah, it is. And he actually, he started turning the wrong way on the road as well. So
yes, he did.
He's just as bad as the van. You know, there's a bit of fault on both sides. I mean, okay, the van driver shouldn't have done what he did, but is it possible he just made a mistake because he started reversing when he realised that he was going the wrong way down down the street?
Yeah,
and then, of course, clown
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the clown Vile is standing behind the van. You know, you can't see behind the van. If you can't see the guy's mirrors, he can't see you.
Exactly. Exactly right. And he's just slamming on the bloody...
I know. What a twat. And if it's a box fan, you're not even going to hear that.
It was a box fan that stopped for me earlier. He was a
Yeah.
nice guy. Yeah. His swears were pretty good as well. Fucking idiot. I'm sorry to denigrate, and generalize about people on two wheels, but just follow the rules of the road and stay in your little section behind the person in front of you. Don't think just because my vehicle's slightly thinner, you can start whipping and weaving and going in and out because you don't know what's going on in front of a large box truck in front of you.
And could I just point out that that Lycra is not armour. and those stupid plastic helmets will do very little to save your head from cracking open like an egg.
Well, Jeremy's little plastic helmet also has a 360-degree camera on it.
Yeah, I know. The man's a twat. I mean, he's just out there he just tries to stir up things for
But
views.
of course he does, and that's why he does it. He goes out there and he films, but this person's doing this person's doing that. Well, while we're in London, let's go to Peckham.
Okay. What happened in Peckham? Trottles International Trading?
Well, there's currently, I think it's now a 2-day, could be a 3-day come tomorrow protest outside a little shop that sells things like hair extensions in Peckham.
Yeah.
Because footage was released, heavily edited, or at least heavily cut footage, of a man grabbing a woman round her neck and then restraining her. And they said that this was a man attacking a woman. And so street protests have brewed in Peckham.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I've now seen the full footage. John, have you seen it?
Yeah. Yeah, her hitting him with a basket and everything.
Yeah, so what actually happened was this woman wasn't happy with some hair extensions, so went back and said, "I'm not happy with these hair extensions." And the guy said, "Right, well, I'll give you a credit note. I'll give you a credit note for the value of these hair extensions against anything else in the shop." She then proceeded to steal things that were of higher value than the credit note and tried to walk straight out of the shop. Okay. He then said, "No, you can't go," stood in front of her. She then proceeded to attack the man, smacking him in the face, hitting him in the chest, using a basket and smashing it round his head.
Yeah,
it was at that point he then stepped in and restrained her. Do you think he was justified? That's the question.
You've got to watch the video, right? He overdid it.
I agree.
He put both his hands round her neck and partially choked her.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So, yeah, and you know what? The whole thing's a shit show these days because no matter what you do, you're going to be in the wrong. So, I mean, look what's happening in America. It's got to the point now that you can't stop people stealing stuff out your shop.
Well, exactly.
Everything's gone to shit. And you're going to get in trouble from the police for assaulting someone who's actually trying to steal stuff out your shop.
Well,
That's
so
what's going to
what I
happen,
believe-
you know. I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but that's what's going to happen. The police are going to come along and go, you know, well, one, you can't prevent them leaving, you know, because the concept of citizens' arrest seems to have died a death now. So you can't prevent them leaving. You can't lay hands on them or you're assaulting them. So basically, what can you do? You can watch them walk away with your goodies.
Well, this is it, and this is why we're seeing, you know, shops in the US put everything behind locked cages, and I mean everything, including cheese and deodorants and things like that.
Can I have a piece of Wensleydale, please?
What are you talking about, boy? This is California. We don't do Wensleydale. You get cheddar, and you'll like it.
You could have what's it? Monterey Jack, and that's it.
Yeah, you can have some Monterey Jack, boy.
Yeah,
and you'll like it. But yeah, you're right, because at this time, I believe actually the woman was arrested and the guy wasn't. And the baying mob, and that is what I'm going to call them.
Yeah.
Are asking for the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Now, do you think the police will fold?
Cave? Well, they've already
release
interviewed the
woman?
guy, haven't they? They've already called him in and interviewed him.
Under caution, I imagine.
Yeah. So I would imagine they'll both end up getting done.
Yeah, I think so.
And the guy's
too.
lost his business.
Oh yeah, his business is gone.
Done.
It's done, but this kind of mob justice, it kind of needs to stop.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Teresa.
There you go.
There you go.
From Teresa towards hair extensions for Ben. Teresa X5.
Thanch you very much.
I can hear that.
Yeah, I heard that
Thank
as
you
well.
very much.
Yeah, I heard the browser. I thought, what's going on? I just don't
What
know.
is going on? I can hear
It's
that.
spooky. I don't know what's going on. Right, so thank you very
Well,
much, Teresa.
Thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. And if
We
you
do.
do want to become a supporter of us in any way, shape, or form, a couple of links there in the pinned comment.
It was
you can
quite
go to
loud.
Ko-fi.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. You can go to Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent, or you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, or you can join right here on YouTube. You can become a channel member right here on YouTube by clicking the join button.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying, Dread Eye, but the problem is that it's getting to the point that seems to have been forgotten by the police and the courts. Because as soon as you touch someone these days, they're going to claim that you assaulted them. And you can't really seem to make a citizen's arrest anymore.
I can see a new name there in the chat. Zandy P says, why racist white supremacists, 5 former Met police officers charged and convicted in the British court? Well, if that is the case and they did some things,
Where have you seen this?
rightfully so.
Oh, good grief, I'm on top chat.
Yes, you need to go to live.
I
chat,
know I
sir.
need to go to live chat.
Yeah, damn right. If such people exist, by the way, we're not fans of those people. Or I'm not fans of somebody who wants a bloody ethno state. I don't see why. I don't. You know, you take somebody as they come. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter at all what they look like, where they come from, who they pray to. Bollocks to it. History debunked. Highly recommend the channel on YouTube, says Frankie J75. Well, speaking about debunked, should we go where no man has gone before?
The ladies' loo. Oh no, sorry, that's been done. Right, where are we going then?
Well, to the deepest, darkest reaches of the Mexican Parliament, John. Tell me what has happened.
I'll tell you what's happened, mate. I'm
Oh,
not saying
I see.
I'm not saying it's aliens. Right? But it's aliens. Look at the state of that. What is that?
That is the greatest work of Manuel and his plaster of Paris kit. That's what that is, mate.
It's what? And there's more. There's more. Shall we? Shall we? Here we go.
Yeah, take us on a journey, baby.
They're like little coffins, little display case coffins. As they unveil them to the world.
What are we looking at?
We're looking at the 1,000-year-old aliens being unveiled to the world. They're tiny.
No, we're not. We're looking at bloody Manuel and his plaster of Paris kit. Come on.
Look at them.
That is what we're looking at.
They're tiny. Look, they have been copied. They've been copied from E.T.
I bet when they were not alive, because they're plaster of Paris, but I bet when they were not alive, they were going, Manuel, phone home. I'll be right.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous.
Militant Mushroom says, been waiting for this. These corpses look like a description of the alien seen by 3 girls in 1996 in Brazil. Well, remember, these are 1,000 years old, allegedly. 1,000. Oh, didn't they say something about eggs as well?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did.
The X-rayed them and said there's eggs inside. I think 2 of them had eggs up here at their shoulders. And then there was a couple of eggs down round about the hips. I've never seen so much nonsense in my entire life. It's just absolute.
It's drivel.
Well, what gets me is this is the government. This is the government bringing this out. How can what do they think we zip up the back? Really?
Listen, I'll tell you what happened here. And this is my opinion, okay? I've been thinking about it. There's a gravedigger found it, they said, I think. No, I think what's happened here is, do you remember, and they still do it sometimes, those 2 Russian comedians who somehow get into phone contact with world leaders and pretend to be people like Greta Thunberg and stuff like that? I think this is one of those.
Oh, I
really do.
I think they've gone on as Klaus Schwab and said, we need you to release the aliens.
Yeah, I honestly do. I think this is one of those. I think this is a couple of, or maybe a team of, I don't know, hoaxists, comedians, whatever, who have managed to trick the Mexican government. That's just my opinion. And remember, this is Mexico, right? This is Cartel City. This is corruption. You just, I honestly don't think this is real. I don't.
You're not shitting me. I don't think it's real either. I mean, for God's sake, they look like they're carved out, as you said, plaster of Paris or something like that. Paris. It's just ridiculous. The whole thing's ridiculous. I can't think why anyone would even think. I mean, you look at the wee tiny neck they had and the huge head. How's that head supposed to be supported by that tiny neck?
Well, exactly. These are evidently
bobbleheads,
absolutely fake. And I made a comparison earlier to John, and I'll make it to you guys as well. There's an episode of The Simpsons where they're digging and they uncover the bones of an angel. And, at the end of the episode, the angel rises up in the air and you start hearing a godly like voice, and then it talks about it's time for the end of high prices, and then it flies back and attaches itself to the front of a mole. And it was one big propaganda stunt to advertise this new mole. Something like this. As Andy P says, there were actually 3 eggs down in the stomach in one of these aliens. These aliens are mummified and have done researches on these for many decades. They actually show many DNA evidence to prove. I'm not so sure any of that's real. Look,
I'm not convinced.
I'm sorry, but it's like the CGI imaging of Indian landers on the moon.
I tell you what, Andy, if you've got some links or something, bang them into the comments and I'll go and check them out. I would love to, because if there's something to talk about, I'll come on and do it tomorrow night.
And if we are wrong,
yeah, of course, I'm
quite happy to admit it. But right now, I'm seeing nothing that I believe right here. Like you said, the simple anatomy, the ability to hold the head up on that neck is not in my opinion.
I know. So coming back to Ukraine, because there's loads happened again today, right? So little, well, we did little Vlad. So Budanov, the head of the intelligence service, is obviously feeling that he might get drafted to the front because he's applied to go and study political science at the university, which would get him out of being drafted.
Oh, fantastic.
More than that, there's rumours that little Vlad might flee to Israel.
Right.
Because he's Jewish. I don't know if Israel would have him, but, you know, we'll see.
They will.
And what's his name?
Come on, John.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un, he's in Russia right now, isn't he?
He went to visit Uncle Big Vlad. Well, he's not big, but he went to visit Uncle Vlad. And he took him for a run in his car. He took him for a run in the presidential limousine round Moscow. I thought that was really nice.
The only
cars.
fat man in North Korea got on his little train.
He's ginormous. Do you see the size of his head?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, boys and girls. There's a reason that everybody is starving in North Korea, and it's the greed of that man.
But his head's massive.
I mean, come on. Come on.
It's wild. It's quite wild.
But he got on his little train and he's gone to see Vlad in Russia, and they're having a good old chinwag. It's rumored, ladies and gentlemen, that Vlad is out of ammunition, so he's buttering Kim Jong-un up to get some ammo out of him for this so-called war.
Yeah, believe what you will. You know, believe what you will. I'm just
saying that's.
I know. Believe what you will. But I think
I'm not.
I think, as Uncle Vlad said, you know, I think Uncle Vlad is doing this to wind up America because he knows America's winding him up.
Well, yeah, and let's face it. I'm going to address these people the same way I addressed Justin Trudeau earlier. They're fucking psychopaths. Look what Kim Jong-un had done to his own brother in an airport on foreign soil. He had him murdered.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
These are not the sort of people you want to go following into a war to your death. Because it's not about you, it's about them.
You know, and you know what? And people might not, they might think I'm talking absolute nonsense here, right? But I think Putin is holding the rest of them back. I think Putin's the moderate here.
I can neither agree or disagree.
I think if Putin was replaced, right, I think it would be an absolute bloodbath. I really do. I think he's holding them back.
I mean, I want to address Adam in the chat right now because I would not like to take a ride in Kim Jong-un's submarine. The second that thing gets in the water, it's probably going to implode.
Why?
Because it's. Have you seen it? It's there for photo purposes only. That thing's not going in the water. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's like your ferries and their windows, right? Oh, we haven't got any
no,
windows.
They've got
Let's
windows
just paint
now.
them on.
They've got windows now.
Yeah, but they didn't at one point, and what did they do? They just painted them on.
Yeah, you know? I know, but then remember what happened? All the doors are too small, and there's not enough stairs.
They need to just absolutely tear them things apart, get a new contractor, rebuild them from scratch.
It's crazy. It's absolutely
It would be cheaper.
Crazy. It would be. Yeah.
It would be cheaper.
Right. So, meanwhile, you know how we were talking there about the UK winding up the Russians as well by participating in these Black Sea exercises.
Absolutely,
I found out today that the UK's only got 169 combat aircraft.
Yeah, I'm not going to war for you.
169.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and people can call me whatever they like. I'm not going to war for this.
Do you know how many combat aircraft Russia has?
Thousands, I imagine.
Well, it's something like 15,000.
And I mean, they've got thousands of tanks. But this is a country, once again, when you look at our country versus their country, and you simply look at their recruitment drives and our recruitment
Yeah,
drives.
I know. The recruitment drive was quite good.
The recruitment drives in Russia and China are like watching a live action game of Call of Duty, whereas the recruitment drives here are, can I be emotional in the army? Can I pray in the army?
Will my colleagues laugh at me if I pray? Yes, they will.
And you'll probably get them killed.
Yeah. And then of course,
war's off, mate. War's off. Just 5 minutes. War's off.
But the American one goes even further, because that actually turns into a cartoon.
Yeah.
And then
so does the British one.
And
the British one with the big white man going no.
Right. Okay. But then the girl that's joining the army in America has to tell us how she was brought up by her two mothers.
Yes.
Her two moms.
Yes. Why do we care?
I don't give a shit.
I mean, that's not anything ist, right? That's not anything ist. I don't care what sexuality anybody is. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't concern me. It's nothing to do with me. Why would I even make it part of my argument or against anyone or anything?
I don't know who. I don't know who Adam thinks we're going to protect. We can't protect anyone, mate.
No. You know, that's a good point, though. When it comes, and this might just be autism, I don't know, but I think long and hard about things like homosexuality and.
I bet you do. I bet Daddy Josh creeps in there.
Like homophobia, homophobia, whatever. All of these ists and phobies and ists. And the only conclusion I can ever come to is, why is it any of your business what anybody else does? Or what anybody else wants to live like? If they're not trying to be, any of these things to be,
spit out.
I don't know, denigrating against you, what's the problem? Why is it? I don't understand these people. I really don't.
So moving on. Syria is reporting that so far the United States of America, sometimes known as Team America World Police, has stolen 115.2 billion worth of Syria's oil. That's why America's in Syria, and we said that. We've said this all the time.
Am I supposed to be shocked, John?
No, but I mean, why is America in Syria? Because Russia's in Syria at the behest of the Syrian government, but America's in Syria as well, and it appears to be stealing their oil. So Team America World Police is nothing but thieves.
Yeah, I do want to address the chat again, because Andy P says, why am my question removed and erased? I don't know.
Probably because you used some weird words or something. It's all automatic.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a big word list of banned words that YouTube doesn't like. So if you use something in there, then it'll take it out. But I haven't removed anything.
No, we're very happy with people criticizing us. Even.
Yeah.
In fact, we encourage it.
What was he saying?
Yeah, you've got.
If you could reword it, and don't use swear words, it would probably be fine. But that's what happens.
Unfortunately, the way YouTube works is if you say something it doesn't like, we get punished. So that's the way it works. So unfortunately, we have to be a little bit vigilant, and a little bit careful, and it's unfortunate, but that's the way it works.
Yeah.
But if you do have something to say and it's even critical, or you've got a question, we didn't remove it, and hopefully none of our moderators did, and we would encourage it to be asked.
And so, feel free. I mean, the same goes for the comments, because there is a word list there as well, and it just makes it easier on us, because we don't have to. Well, we don't have to moderate as strongly, and we don't have to. We don't actively manage the chat at all while we're on the show.
We don't.
We just respond to it generally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so I would imagine it's just came foul of the automated word list.
Yeah, so we can only apologise if that's happened.
Don't worry about it. It's not personal. It's not personal, mate.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
These things happen. It's the same with Kofi, if you drop a note on Kofi and you put in bad words, it won't read it out, even though you've paid for it. You know, it won't read out the bad words. So
No, because we've asked it not to, because you know, I've seen so many text-to-speech streamers fall very foul of that.
yeah,
And
yeah, you
it's
can imagine the words they try and use.
bad. So we have to be a bit vigilant and a bit
Yeah.
careful, because once again, we get blamed for the things that other people do. And yeah.
So the EU has begun threatening Russia with consequences.
But haven't they been threatening Russia with some kind of consequences since the word go? And they've been trying to commit these consequences with these so-called sanctions that appear to have done absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but they're not threatening them for that. They're threatening them, right, for holding elections.
What?
Yeah,
You
because
have to elaborate here.
well, they've been holding elections in Donetsk again, and they're threatening them for daring to hold democratic elections in an occupied land. While Ukraine has suspended all elections and has just become a tyranny or a dictatorship.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to any of this because, you know, I can say it's all getting a bit silly now. It is.
crazy.
I mean, come on. I think this still needs to be solved by the way of influencer boxing, because this is obviously an argument between Vlad and Vlad.
Do you remember?
Vlad and Vlad.
Do you remember?
Stick
Was
them in
it
the ring.
was
Let's
it
punch
spit?
it out.
Was it Spit and Image that used to do put them in the ring and fight to the death, or was it
No,
something?
it was Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah, Celebrity Deathmatch. That's what we need.
MTV Celebrity Deathmatch.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously, it will say Matt Hancock. Could you've said it, Harold?
You have. You have said it. Yes, you have. But yeah, no. I honestly believe that when these kinds of conflicts are occurring, they're not occurring between the populations of the countries.
No,
They're
they
occurring between the people in charge, and they're all having what I like to call a dick measuring contest. So if they really want to have their fight, stop getting your own bloody people killed and go and have your fights. Oh, Kofi won't even say Matt Hancock.
Will it not? Okay. How have you tried? Did you try it? Well, you could always say Hat Mancock.
Yeah, you could. I mean, that might.
It's like, do you remember when them phones came out and people used to complain that they couldn't use Scunthorpe in a text? Because Scunthorpe has a certain 4-letter word inside it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, England is a dictatorship. Yeah, of course it is. So is America,
Well,
yeah. Well, they all are, really.
I call them the Purple Party now, because it doesn't matter if you're voting Labour or you're voting
No, it
Tory. You're
doesn't.
getting the same agenda.
Of course you
It's
are.
rolling forward. You're not getting any easier. Your life is not getting any easier. Your life is not getting any better. You put Keir Starmer in place of Rishi Sunak and you'll just get more of the bloody same.
Except you'll
It's-
get it harder. Because it's Keith. Keith and
Rammed
Angela.
by Keir. Oh, God. Imagine that.
There's something there's something about Angela Rayner that's really, that voice is just...
Ginger Growler.
No, she doesn't sound like that. She's got that kind of...
I'm not trying to imitate her voice. I'm just telling you, the
But-
Ginger Growler.
And this might disturb some people, okay, but she's got that kind of voice where she sounds just thick enough that you know that she would be a certainty, right? But
God, no.
just intelligent enough that it wouldn't be an offence.
That's a joke, by the way. God's
What do you mean, a joke? What's up with you? What's the problem? I didn't say anything untoward.
Let's move on to the funny, shall we?
What's wrong with my shirt? Is it? Oh no, it's not. It's just the shadow. Right. Well, we've only got one funny. Oh no, we've got two.
Funny.
Well,
Give them to me, baby.
so did you see the thing about? ANPR, the public are strongly in agreement with putting ANPR at fast food outlets in order to cut down on litter louts. And you said, why is this news? Remember?
Yeah, because it shouldn't be news. It was probably like 2 people who were polled, first of all.
Yeah, I know, but you know what they're doing, right?
It's a soft,
It's a
soft
soft
tyranny.
No, it's a soft social credit system, isn't it? Because they're
Soft
gonna
tyranny.
they're gonna go. Oh, this car's been at McDonald's 3 times this week. Oh, Ben, Ben, you've been here too often. No more McDonald's for you.
And then I'll look like the average North Korean citizen, which
Yeah.
might be good. I mean, I don't eat McDonald's. I eat their breakfast, but I don't like their other food. So if they said no more McDonald's for you, I'd just be like, fine, don't care.
Mhm.
It's when they go, no more Coca-Cola for you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, I'm not going to start back up, by the way. That was more of a bit than an actual thing.
Yeah,
I just-
sure it was.
I mean, tastes good, though. Tastes bloody brilliant.
Did you just buy one?
Yeah, I've only got the one.
All right, okay.
But,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right, Sandy.
Why peaceful protests are banned in England? Peoples like republics can't even protest against monarchy and British royal family. Legislations for banning protests passed some days before
Yeah,
coronation.
that's true. That's true.
It's true.
That's true.
It's true.
Oh, that was loud.
And do you know what? We don't support that or agree with that, but it
No.
is true.
That is true.
It is getting harder and harder and harder to have protests in this country. I don't agree with the way that people like Just Stop Oil protest because I don't actually believe that's a protest.
No, that it's a political. It's almost a political statement, isn't it? The Just Stop Oil stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you know, it gets to you, doesn't it? It does get to you because it just seems to be that more and more of your rights are eroded every day, right? You need to ask more and more permission to do things. So you don't live in a democracy. You don't even live.
Of course
you
don't.
You don't even live in a benevolent dictatorship anymore. That's why you need to come to Veradora.
What your parliament is, boys and girls, is death by 1,000 cuts. That's what it always has been. They pass little bits of legislation week on week on week that erode just a tiny bit more of your rights, bit by bit. Just erode it tiny bit, tiny bit, tiny bit, tiny bit, until one day you wake up with the ankle monitor on going, how the hell did this happen?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you how it happened. It happened because a bunch of rich, entitled, corrupt, narcissistic, and you think I'm a conversational narcissist. You try talking to somebody in Parliament, Andrew Bridgen, but these people have introduced, voted on, and passed legislation that just cut you a tiny bit, just a tiny bit.
Well, look at the last one that they put in. You know, the one about smart meters and forcing entry to homes for utility companies if they want to put if you're not following the correct legislation, and then they say, oh, but that's actually not creating an offence, it's just putting stuff in place so as the next government could create an offence.
Well, exactly. That's
just
a bit disingenuous, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah, it's just one little bit at a time. We'll just slip this in. It's fine. Just slip that in. You know, it's like when you're sitting at the pictures and you just slip the hand round the shoulder. You know.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, tongue's down the throat, and you're not even getting the price of a box of popcorn.
Well, exactly. And Zandy PR, our Conservative Party government like dictators and authoritarians. I don't think it matters what party.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because I think like I say, I call them the Purple Party because it doesn't matter if you've got Rishi Sunak or Keir Starmer. Your life will not improve under these people. It will not.
It's the system that's wrong.
The system is the problem. The system is... I call it, the Purple Party, the Uniparty. Doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter because the aims of government are all the same. And those aims of government are, 1, control the people, and 2, feather their own nest. And that's it. That's all you need to know.
Exactly.
And if you can prove to me that the aims of the Labour Party are different from the Conservative Party, then fine. But I don't think you can. because ultimately they're all going down exactly the same route. They're all going to push for net zero, which is a race to the bottom, right?
Yep.
So we're all going to be in a big shitstorm. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore, and I'm going to come up with the last item on the list, which is something for the ladies. I think you'll like
you did
this.
say this earlier.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you changed the screen again, I see.
Yes, I have indeed. So
You've actually got something for it. You've got a visual.
yes, I have a visual. What I'd like to present to you is the Irish Farmer Calendar 2024. It's a teaser for you. This is real.
What am I looking at?
The Irish Farmer Calendar 2024.
We need to make a calendar.
That's what I was thinking, but these guys look way too happy with their selected animals.
They do, yeah.
There's a guy with
with
chicken.
the chicken
Look at the guy
yeah.
with chicken, and he got hay coming out his hat?
Yeah, it does, yeah. Yeah.
He looks like he's wearing one of my old shirts. And then the guy sitting there with the self-satisfied grin with the rabbits on his lap. That's very dodgy. Very dodgy.
So Frankie J75 says, please don't make a calendar.
Pay us and we won't.
Exactly. Exactly. Pay us and we won't.
And there's another picture.
Oh God.
There's
Come on
one.
then, give it to us.
There you go. Check,
Hold on, I'm waiting. Oh,
check Ben in the bottom right with these sheep. That's a fine looking you. Could you actually play the guitar sitting like that?
Not really. I mean, you could strum it with your thumb like he's doing, but you couldn't really play it. You couldn't give it a good go. Jesus Christ! What are we doing? What have we become, John?
The world.
What?
All the Irish farmers.
Well, us, me and you.
I thought that was quite funny.
Well,
I thought the Irish Farmer
think
Calendar was quite good. It
think
tickled
it's
me. Did it tickle you?
It has tickled me. It's tickled me in all of the correct places.
Yeah, he did have a nice car. A great set of wellies.
Harold says it wasn't funny.
I don't care. I thought it was funny, and that's all that counts. I liked it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you have enjoyed tonight's offerings, then please don't forget to leave a like on your way out. Comment after the fact if you want to. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share. And if you want to support us further, you can do so by going to Patreon, patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, or indeed Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent. One more thing you can do is click the join button. John, get them out of here.
Good night, people. Thank you for attending this, episode 252 of Chasing Dissent Live with me, John, and with Ben. It's been great. For you.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer.
What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.